Hey guys, thanks for joining me in the garden this morning. I just really want to quickly cover an important topic as it pertains to squash, and that is the squash bug. Squash bug is a predator to squash. It feeds on it. It sucks the life juices, the chlorophyll, the nutrients out of your squash. And while doing so, they impart a very toxic effect on your squash. Which can be very difficult for your squash plants, especially young squash like this one that are very susceptible. I'm going to grab these two. I actually just found them mating, their mating pair on my very young squash right here. And this is them, the squash bug. You may have seen these. Sometimes people I hear from, their squash is just not really doing well. They're watering it, but it's wilting anyway. It looks sickly, and chances are you might have some of these guys on your squash. So definitely look out for them. I'm gonna drop them in the bucket here. And so, yeah, really quickly, just want to talk about how we can alleviate and maybe even eradicate squash bugs in your garden. Number one, best way is truly to just do your own due diligence. You know, it takes a little bit of work, but if you've got some squash plants, just go out maybe early in the morning or the evening, and just look on the undersides of the plants, under the leaves. That's where they like to breed and lay eggs very often, and hang out and bite. So just pick them off like I just did. That just saved us from a whole generation of squash bugs, because they lay at least 20 eggs per laying, and they will lay the females pretty much all summer long. So hand pick them. Also, if you have chickens or ducks, if they're free ranging, you can keep them in your garden a little bit in these squash areas. They would pick these off. Also, we are 100% organic. I definitely believe in neem oil, or even more effective, in my opinion, is a neem tea that I make with neem meal, which you can order. I do another video on this, but it's really effective because it's a little bit more versatile than the oil. It will not harm any soil microbes or your plants if you used too much. In fact, it's beneficial for your plants, and it will really mess the insects and bugs like this up pretty bad in their eating and breeding habits. So that's another really good option for you. Also, we should always remember that a polyculture, which is growing many different types of plants together, is a wonderful option to just keep a really good balance of pests and favorable bugs. And it keeps bugs like these at bay because there are plenty of predators. In fact, there is a predator, I believe it's called the tachnid fly, that literally lays eggs. And the larvae, I guess, eat up the squash bug. It's pretty intense. But these guys are very attracted to specific types of flowers that are real lacy. These predators will really enjoy dill and carrot flowers, Queen Anne's lace, things like that. So if you have plenty of those in your garden, again, just having all types of varieties. That's why I love my food forest, is because it just draws so many different types of things. But again, these are something that you really do want to get rid of if you see them, especially with your young plants. If you see them in very healthy plants, like I do sometimes, larger plants, they are much less susceptible. I'm going to throw them in this bucket and feed them to my chickens because they will love them. Here is also what their eggs look like, that they lay on either the stem or the underside of the leaf quite often. And likewise, you really want to get rid of those, scrape them off, or even if you don't have that much time, just go ahead and just cut that portion of the leaf off, which I probably will do. So that's it. This squash is really healthy in my garden here. I'm not going to fret it too much, but the squash bug is something to be aware of. And so when I see it, I will be removing them. And hopefully that was a very helpful, quick tip for you regarding squash and squash bugs. So be sure to get out there and squash those bugs. Until next time.